I'm going to give up the stage to the very debonair Mr. Julio Martinez. Yeah.
Raising a daughter is easy if you don't think about it. My daughter Corrie was supposed to be born in June 1986. In April, her mother's water broke. No problem. Pushed her in the car, we drove to Hollywood Presbyterian Church, and after 18 hours later, Corrie was born. I was fine. I took little naps along the way. Over the ensuing years, my parenting style could be called parental laissez-faire. I decided it was my job to notice Corrie, not try to reassemble her. In 1992, I was working at KCET, and we were producing a national children's PBS special called The Puzzle Place. It had a set that took up almost all of Soundstage A at KCET. It was a multi-leveled affair so that actors could be at different heights from one another as they held up these hand puppets and talked. One day I went on the set because I had to talk to one of the writer-producers about an upcoming promotional event, and at my side was my 6-year-old daughter Corrie, who I had just picked up from school. The writer-producer suggested that maybe Corrie would like to go into the green room and talk to the actors. And I said, sure. He said, fine, where is she? Just then, we heard this huge crash and half the set collapsed. Before I could react, amid the wreckage, I heard this little voice, I'm fine. She was trying to reach the highest level behind the set. No problem. I was cool. We were blackballed from the set and I was almost fired, but that was cool. When Corrie was in the 4th grade, her class went on a 4-day trip to Sacramento, which also included a side trip to San Francisco and a tour of Alcatraz. I was kind of enjoying the respite at home, but on the 3rd day afternoon, I got a call, and a very, very anguished teacher who went on the trip was saying that everyone had gotten back on the boat from Alcatraz, but there was no Corrie. Oh, God. The fear was they had left her on the island. I said, how many decks are there on the boat? They said 6. I said, go look on the top deck. They found Corrie asleep in the engineer's booth, which was above the 6th deck. The teacher just let out this anguished cry of relief, and I poured myself a glass of Chardonnay. When Corrie was 14, she was cast as John Rubinstein's daughter in the revival of the musical A Little Night Music. She immediately fell in love with a 25-year-old actor in the cast. I wasn't worried. I did not think this very ambitious young actor would really want to fool around with the underage daughter of a theater critic. My daughter went on to the LA County High School for the Arts as a theater major, and when she graduated, she informed me she did not want to be an actress. She wanted to be a chef and go to the California School of Culinary Arts to Corrie.mov School in Pasadena, and I smiled my way through co-signing a student loan of $38,000. And over the years, I have smiled and imbibed my way through 2 tattoos, a false alarm pregnancy, dyeing her beautiful hair orange. A few weeks ago, her mother called me and said, Corrie has just taken a plane to Salt Lake City to meet a boy named Rocky she met on the internet. He was picking her up and they were driving to his parents' home in Provo. Corrie didn't answer her cell phone, but the next day she called me and said she was at Rocky's parents' house. I told her to look around and tell me if there were a lot of women doing chores around the house. Corrie smiled and laughed and said, I'll be back tomorrow, Daddy. I have to go to work. She's the pantry chef at a place, a high-end restaurant on Melrose Avenue called the Village Idiot, and she did have to get back to work. Yesterday, she informed me that in 8 days, Rocky is taking a bus out here to Los Angeles because they're both going to go to a rave at the Inglewood Forum. But it's not serious. So, last night I'm sitting in front of my TV desperately trying to watch a DVD pilot of Hollywood Husbands of House Husbands of Hollywood, a new reality series. And my daughter just benignly tells me that, Daddy, I really am not flighty. I'm very serious. And by the time I'm 30, I want to be married and have a child. Is it difficult being a parent? I took another sip of Chardonnay and shrugged. Piece of cake.